This video is sponsored by the Shinra Electric Power Company. Join the fight and keep Midgar safe.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Nah, I don't feel this game's gonna be fair. Final Fantasy VII. When did this franchise get as huge as it is today? The original game released back in 1997 to both critical and commercial success, and we're still talking about it 20 years later. However, I'm pretty sure that when Square Enix announced a Battle Royale taking place in Midgar, no one was really expecting it. Even after the beta's release, some people are still doubtful about the idea of that being a thing. So I know what everybody's thinking. Why a Battle Royale? To be honest, nowadays there's a Battle Royale for pretty much anything. Just think about it. An online match spanning over a huge map with tons of players fighting to be the one remaining victor? Oh, and also you can play with friends because most of them are free to play. It's understandable, but I won't deny there's an excess in the market. Look, I'm not saying this to justify the existence of this Battle Royale. I'm just saying that I know where all of this is coming from. Yeah, this was a complete 180 for the whole franchise. What about it then? What makes Final Fantasy VII, the First Soldier, different from any other Battle Royale? Well, I played over almost 30 hours during the closed beta, so I'll give you my full thoughts on the game. So sit back, relax, and let's go one more time into the world of Midgar to see what this game has to offer. Okay, maybe we can understand why this was a Battle Royale, but why did it have to be a mobile game in the first place? It's a bit weird if you ask me. Most of the assets found in the game, if not all of them, can be found in Final Fantasy VII Remake. The logical step would have been to keep the game running on consoles. So why take the time to port it to mobile? Well, I see two answers here. The short answer is... yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. But not everything is black and white. Say anything you want about mobile games, but they are in a way more accessible to a broader audience. It may be a bit more common to have a decent mobile phone than, say, a current-gen console. I want to believe this was part of the reasoning why the First Soldier was a mobile game exclusive. As I mentioned before, Battle Royale games were well in bringing us together. The free-to-play aspect and most of them being on mobile makes it easier for players to connect all over the world. However, given the nature of the game, it's not gonna run in any kind of phone. The minimum requirements for the game are 3GB of RAM and 1.30GB of storage. And I mean, if you already play COD Mobile, you most certainly would have the infrastructure for this game. I suppose you would be included in their target audience. Well, with that out of the way, let's review the game as a standalone spin-off of the franchise and as a Battle Royale for mobile. It's impossible not to draw comparisons between this game and other similar Battle Royales. Specifically, I'm gonna refer to COD Mobile's Battle Royale for that, as I'm fairly acquainted with it. You see, the button layout is almost exactly the same, save for the spell layout, and you can customize it to whatever you want. This makes it so that you can pretty much transfer your layout from other games here. However, in terms of feel, and this is merely from my perspective, I felt the game to be more slippery than what I was used to in COD Mobile. It takes a while to get used to it, and you may feel thrown off when switching between games. However, it seems that controller support is on the way. Personally, I think that playing shooters on mobile is a learning curve of its own, and sometimes controllers have a considerable amount of lag. According to the post-beta report provided by the development team, controller support was one of the most requested aspects in the feedback questionnaire, but only time will tell if this will be a viable competitive option. Beyond the similarities, there's a very interesting triad of options that you have at your disposal during the match. You have spells, guns, and melee attacks. And this is something very funny about all of the guns. They all have scopes. And you're pretty much not gonna be using them at all. At close range, if you're not using your melee, you will be running and jumping as you hip fire with your SMG. At least that's what I found to be most effective. Aiming down your sights will leave you exposed as a sitting duck, so it's not something I would totally recommend. Then there's the spells. They serve a variety of purposes, such as denial of area effect attacks, traversal, and a sentry turret.
Engaging enemy pilot.
These rely on your MP gauge, so you won't be able to spam them unless you pick the sorcerer class. Lastly, there's the melee attacks. Long story short, they are broken. You basically engage in an automated combo just by tapping the melee button a couple of times. You do have to keep your aim on the opponent to track them properly, but it's pretty much done for you. This brings us to a very interesting mechanic that was left over from Final Fantasy VII Remake, the stagger gauge. If you hit your opponent enough times, they will get staggered. In layman's terms, you deny the other person of their human rights. I guess that a good solution would be to be able to counter the melee attacks, to at least have a say in the matter. Aside from fighting against other players, there's also monsters you can engage with. These guys drop loot like in the Final Fantasy games, such as health potions, ammo, experience, and accessories. Accessories in particular grant you special effects, such as being able to see where the next circle will close. Monster encounters aren't game-changing, but they most definitely help whenever you have trouble coming across other players. This is a particularly big map, not as big as COD Mobile's or Fortnite's, but as any other battle royale, it does feel a little barren at times. I think something that would benefit the game greatly would be enemy variety and advanced AI behavior, as it is very easy to just spam the melee attack on them. In regards to bosses like Scorpion Sentinel, defeating them will grant you interesting pieces of loot, such as legendary weapons and secret boxes. Secret boxes contain a random amount of puzzle pieces that you need to acquire to unlock a special skin. This system was a nice touch, as it allows you to acquire better cosmetics through some in-game grinding. However, I do have to mention that it did take me 14 hours to unlock one of the Chocobo skins and the Buster Sword. I got the rest of the cosmetics a couple hours later. I hope they keep and refine this system in the game, as it's way more rewarding when you beat a boss and get closer to unlocking that great skin. And this is just for the premium skins. You can also acquire other cosmetics through the in-game currency, which you acquire naturally as you progress. Lastly, I'm just gonna brush over the last aspect of the game, which is soldier classes, as I feel that they need a little bit more tweaking before the final release. You can choose from 4 different classes, all of which have different unique abilities that you can use after cooldown. They range from giving you infinite MP to a wall hack that allows you to track enemy players. There's also a win button that the warrior class has. It basically gives you a buff and makes your already broken melee attacks even more powerful.
the DNA of the soul.
These are fun, but I suppose that there may be more that can be accomplished with these classes. There must be something that makes you want to choose one class over the other, and not just rely on one OP class that everybody would be using. One nice example is the Sorcerer, which actually changes your playstyle a lot. You can shoot more fireballs when using Pharah, so you kind of trade off having a melee attack for better magic spells. But with the Monk and the Ranger, you're basically playing at a disadvantage, as your melee attacks are a bit trickier to pull off, as well as having average spellcasting properties. With a little bit more tweaking, I feel this could be the defining characteristic that sets this battle royale apart. Make you feel like a real soldier. Make you feel like a real Final Fantasy character. I think this could be accomplished greatly with the class system. So yeah, the combination of all of these aspects is what makes the first soldier feel different. It feels more energetic yet tactical. It rewards playful techniques and repositioning. Monster placement is also a nice way to keep yourself busy as you prepare for the next battle and build up more HP and MP. And if you need a way to get somewhere quickly, you'll be able to do so through a vehicle or a chocobo, the latter being the best option in my opinion. To be honest, the amount of excitement I felt throughout the matches was what kept me coming back to have just one more match. I was also very excited to fight against the boss monsters and learn the best strategy to dispatch them. I think this is a very good convergence point for the game. By trying to translate the action-packed playstyle of the remake into an online environment, we can see a game of its own take shape. With a little bit more balancing and adjustments to the systems, especially melee attacks and AI, I can see this game become an interesting competitive option for mobile. Competitive option? Yeah, this is a battle royale. I can totally see a competitive scene growing around the game. However, there is one concern I have regarding the support this game may receive. So far, the developers have shared several pictures depicting statistics of the game. This is very nice, as they are making trackable information available to the public, as well as voicing the comments they have regarding the feedback received through the beta. This is where we directly see how the developers are trying to address certain problems that were detected during the testing period. But now, this is where I am a little concerned. How are the developers planning on supporting the game after release? Most online games nowadays have a battle pass system, and these systems work because they are able to pump lots of cosmetics and such into the mix. So how could they make it interesting in the first soldier? It's already confirmed that there will be microtransactions in the first soldier, which, you know, it's something integral in free-to-play games in order for them to survive. So far we got some great skins, but we only have 2 characters with voice lines. You know, they even added the unknown entity skin to the game, but didn't provide a different voiceover for it, which is just hilarious. Considering that the developers are sharing lots of information to the public, I feel this air of transparency may help the game continue to improve with the added feedback of the players. If Square Enix can build up a community and keep this habit of information sharing, I can see a long-running game for years to come. But you see, only time will tell if this will be a success or if this will be abandoned if the game flops. Look, I'm a Final Fantasy fan and a mobile gamer. I'm the worst of the worst, I know. I'm pretty much the target audience for this game. But in all seriousness, despite my concerns and balancing issues during the beta, I had so much fun playing the game. I want to play this game again when it releases. And I want to play it for a long time. I want to keep supporting it and make many more videos about it. It's so much fun. I want to see whatever many crossovers they can come out with from all of the Final Fantasy games that came before and after. I want to see this game be successful and bring fun mechanics to other battle royales. There's lots of potential for a good AAA game here. But even if I'm asking for too much, I really enjoyed my time with the game. So even after focusing on all of the flaws that this game had during the beta, I can say that it has lots of potential to be a very good game. As a person that really enjoys Battle Royales, I mean, who doesn't? I feel that this is a very nice addition of Battle Royales available in the market. And for me, this is a good example of why mobile gaming doesn't suck. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. This was your host Maple from Mildly Spicy spicing up your day. I consider this to be the first mainline video for the channel, and I really appreciate you sticking by till the very end. I just want to thank my day one supporters. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to do pretty much anything. If you came across my video and liked it, consider subscribing to the channel. I will be uploading every week or so about similar topics. For now, that's pretty much my review for the first soldier, so we'll see you next time at the same place. Take care.